Monster Melee! Beholder 2014 versus Beholder 2024.
5e versus 5.5e. Which Beholder would win in a one-on-one fight? And how different from each other are they exactly? Welcome to Monster Melee, everyone, where D&D creatures clash against each other in fantastic battles. I am your game master and commentator, Esper. I'm glad to have you here with me. In today's matchup, we have two Beholders, one from the 2014 Monster Manual, and the other from the 2024 Monster Manual. 2025 Monster Manual? What edition is this exactly? And for today's battle arena, we are returning to Moss Folly Caverns. This is the biggest dungeon map that I have ever done so far. You can find this map and many others on my Patreon page, along with monthly newsletters, monthly drawings for exclusive rewards for patrons, all kinds of great stuff on there. Just find me, Esper, on patreon.com. There's also a link to that and everything else down below. So let's take a look. Wait, hold on a moment. So let's take a look at both of the contenders in today's matchup. The 2014 Beholder is a large aberration, lawful evil alignment, challenge rating of 13, AC of 18, hit points of 180, no ground speed, only 20-foot flying speed, a little slow, and it does hover. In terms of strengths, it has good intelligence, charisma, and wisdom saving throws. Has very powerful eye rays, of course, its most iconic ability with the 10 eye stalks and the 10 different magical effects. Some are pretty devastating. They're randomized when the Beholder uses this feature. It has legendary actions, which is just another randomized eye ray. A cone of anti-magic that projects out in this like 150-foot cone where it's looking and hovering, so it can't be knocked prone, can't be knocked out of the air. It does have some weaknesses though. It's a slow creature, unfortunately. It is subpar in melee combat. It's almost more like a spellcaster artillery creature and has subpar physical saves. Now looking at the 2024 Beholder, still a large aberration, still lawful evil, challenge rating 13, armor class 18. Hit points are 190, so it's up by 10. Speed on the ground is still 0. The fly speed, though, is 40 feet now, so it's faster, which I think was a really good choice, and it still has hover. As far as its strengths go, it now has good constitution and wisdom saving throws, and it has legendary resistance, 3 usages of legendary resistance. Also, I think a good addition there. Still has the powerful eye rays, though they are somewhat different. I've got a list here. The Charm Ray now also does psychic damage, which is a little odd. So it injures you, but it charms you in injuring you. But then if it injures you again, it breaks the charm. What? The Paralyzed Ray is the same. The Fear Ray now does psychic damage along with the fear, but the fear is only for 1 round, whereas before it was for 1 minute with ongoing saves. The Slowing Ray now also does necrotic damage. The Innervation Ray now does poison damage instead of necrotic damage, which I find really weird. It's like somebody forgot what innervation even means. You know, innervation, draining the vitality out of the target. The Telekinetic Ray is essentially still the same, so the one that really should have been revised was not. The Beholder needs to have a way to use its telekinesis at will, instead of it always being randomized along with the other rays. So how the hell are Beholders supposed to get anything done?
Here are these ancient scrolls I need to deliver to Zaka Braka. Damn it! Damn it! Come on, telekinesis ray! I disintegrated them.
The Sleep Ray is the same. The Petrification Ray is essentially the same. I don't like how the wording no longer indicates that the initial restrained condition is because the target is starting to turn to stone. It kind of gives the impression that if the Beholder shoots a creature that's immune to petrification, it can still give it like the initial restrained, as though restrained is some different thing that's not associated with the fact that the creature's turning to stone. Kind of a rules lawyer point, but that is the way it's worded now. The Disintegration Ray now does less damage, but if the target succeeds on the save, it takes half damage. So, I'm not sure how I feel about that. The half damage on the successful save does keep things, more dangerous and tense. But on the other hand, the fact that it does overall less damage is kind of a bummer. It's kind of annoying when something is called disintegration, but really all it is just moderately strong force blast. The death ray has kept the same high damage, and it also now does half damage on a successful save. So I think that's the only revision to an eye ray that I think was a good choice. The new beholder still has the legendary action of shooting a random eye ray. It also has a new legendary reaction called Chomp. Isn't that just darling? And Chomp lets it make 2 bite attacks as one legendary action. So that actually means the new beholder can make 7 bite attacks in a round. I can't think of any D&D monster ever of any edition that just has one mouth that's able to do something like this. I'm not talking about hydras or things with a bunch of mouths, just the one mouth, and it can bite a ton of times. I mean, if you hunt around, you can find a few monsters that can make like 2 bite attacks with a single mouth in a round, but 7? I don't know what's wackier, that or the Magic the Gathering beholders that don't fly. I guess they just roll around and hop like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. The Cone of Anti-Magic is also a little different in a key way now. The new one now has to spend a bonus action, and it sends out a wave of anti-magic in that 150-foot cone. And that wave then creates the field of anti-magic for the round until the start of the beholder's next turn. So that means that if some effect makes it to where the beholder cannot use bonus actions, it can't use its anti-magic cone, even though the central eye is still open. And in terms of its weaknesses, well, I can't call it subpar in melee any longer. It can make 7 bite attacks in a round. And also its strength got bumped up. It's a 16 strength now instead of a 10. So it's got like a +8 to hit instead of a +5. So really the only thing that's mediocre or subpar are its strength, dexterity, intelligence, and charisma saves. So like with basically everything in 5.5e, it's this mixed bag of good and bad. I'm very glad the beholder got the faster flying speed. I've been talking about that for years. I wish it would have just had that from the beginning. And the same goes with the legendary resistance. It should have had that from the beginning of 5e. But the crazy 7 bites per round thing and the fact that it's no longer good with intelligence saving throws nor charisma. And also the changes to a few of the eye rays I think are kind of wonky. There's some things about this that I just don't like. I also personally don't like the new illustration very much. It's just this kind of slick, shiny cartoon goofball. I like beholders to look more like horrors. So who do I think is going to win the battle? For sure, I would bet on the 2024 beholder. The legendary resistance alone is just such an advantage. And the fact that a few of its eye rays now do half damage on a successful save, that gives it another strong edge. But let's play it out and see them both in action. So we're not going to actually get to see Chompy do the 7 bites per round, just the way that legendary actions work. That it's only going to be able to take, they're both only going to be able to do 1 legendary action. So we're going to be starting off with 2014 Beholder, 1 initiative by just 1 single point. Hovering over this slimy, mucky bog and is going to unleash the 3 eye rays, of course. So let's roll 3d10s and see what the results are. 4, 9, and 7. Slowing, disintegration, sleep. Slow the disintegration. That could be cool. All right, 24 makes a dex save and fails that, so it has been slowed. Its speed is halved, can't take reactions, can't take an action and a bonus action, so no anti-magic cone for you, and it's got ongoing saves. Apparently the slow effect does not impose disadvantage on dex saves. I was thinking it would do that, but it's not in the wording here. Here's the kind of anti-magic that the 2014 Beholder did at the start of its turn. I actually should have mentioned that already. Okay, so now we're going to go with the Disintegration Ray and a dex save for 2024. And nat 1, okay, so he gets a full blast of Disintegration. It will actually use its legendary resistance. It does not want to take all that force damage, and it will take nothing. So, sorry 2014, should have had the half damage on a success. Okay, that's 1 legendary action eaten up, and the last is a Sleep Ray with a Wisdom saving throw. Here comes a Wisdom save. 21 will be a success. And then the Beholder, all right, then it is going to hover over there to get some anti-magic protection. At the end of its turn, the opponent can use a legendary action, but there's no legendary action to take. The Cone of Anti-Magic is going to block out the raise, and it's not close enough to chomp for a double bite. So we just go to 2024's turn. It's slowed, huh? Dash is only going to be able to get to there due to a slow, so it couldn't even chomp with a legendary action. It could dash into here and then use the Cone of Anti-Magic as the bonus action. So I'm thinking that's actually going to be its choice. Just do a defensive turn. So it hovers slowly into there, and we use this bonus action. Okay, so it has a Cone of Anti-Magic, or a field of anti-magic that it projected with the central eye, and that will end its turn. It's going to repeat its save against slow, which is a repeated dexterity save. It is a little strange, but I guess it works out well enough. 18 will do it. The slow effect is gone. At the end of its turn, the 2014 Beholder isn't going to do a legendary action Ire because the anti-magic cone is just going to negate it. Though I do wonder if it could target like the rock there. This is where an at-will telekinesis would be really cool, because it might try to like dislodge a chunk of rock and like thrust it against, like smash it against the enemy Beholder, but whatever. All right, back to 2014 Beholder. It has to be very clever here. Oh, what's it gonna do? I think it's going to try to be tricky, and it's going to put a Cone of Anti-Magic out this way, and that's not quite 150, but you know, good enough. We're not fighting up there. It will be waiting right here, just kind of hovering barely on the outside of the anti-magic field, and it will ready a dash. All right, we got a 2024. I am seeing now some tactical benefits to having that central anti-magic eye as a bonus action. I don't know if it's overall better in all situations, but it's just different. So it's going to come out to here and then come to here, and it's still got like 10 feet of flying speed, and it's going to start its eye raise, and the instant right before they shoot, Beholder 2014 is going to use this reaction to dash over to here. And so now the eye rays are worthless, and they just, you know, spark off of the wall and try to catch it as it runs, and they pass into the anti-magic field and just fizzle out into nothing. And so Beholder 2024, I think, is going to... It's only got 10 more feet of movement. Oh gosh, okay. Well, he wants to get closer to maybe do some chomping, but he can't get close enough. Whatever, to there. Okay, round 3. It was worthless for the Beholder 2014 to do the legendary action Ire. No worries. It's going to go out of the field of anti-magic, probably as far as it can get to, say, there, and unleash its barrage of Ires upon 2024. All right, 3d10s. Let's see which raise it comes up with. We've got 7, 6, I'm going to re-roll that, and 10. 7, 6, and 10. Oh, I forgot to show the anti-magic cone at the start of its turn. I think it probably goes like that. I don't know if that actually even really matters. Okay, so it's like a sleep ray first. 2024 makes a wisdom saving throw, and 15 is a failure. Will it do a legendary action for that? I think so. So that's 2 legendary actions burned up. And then 6 is the telekinetic ray. So now a strength saving throw. Got a +3 nowadays instead of a +0. 18 is going to succeed. And then, of course, the death ray is the 10. Here we go. Just a +2 on the dex save still. 13 is a failure. I think it's going to have to burn its final legendary action. Okay, that's it. It's out of legendary actions, but it hasn't taken any damage yet at all. So start of turn, field of anti-magic goes away. It could, I think, charge in and do a bite, but that's not quite as good with just the one legendary action that it can use. The end of 2014's turn, 2024 is going to do legendary action. Ire, 1 randomized Ire. That's a 6. That's the slowing ray. It's going to be a dexterity saving throw. 2014 rolls that and comes up with a 17 for a success. We go to 2024's turn. That is going to be the end of that. field of anti-magic. It does want to rush in and get to biting. I don't know. It can't do all the legendary actions, so the chomp isn't quite as crazy, but it could be 3 bites per round. It's pretty good. And this thing's outmaneuvered it, kind of tricked it a couple times. So maybe it will rush in just to get within chomp range, but then still use its barrage of eye rays. So here we go. 3 eye rays. It's coming up with a 5, a 9, and a 5. So we've got to re-roll that last one. A 5, a 9, and a 5. Come on, give me something other than a 5. 5, 9, 2. Okay, so the 5 is the innervation ray that is no longer innervation. And we're going to do a con save. It's got a +4. 2014 comes up with a nat 1. Okay, so it has been innervated, which is now 3d8 poisoned and has the poison condition for like a round. So 21 damage, poison till the end of its next turn. Okay, and then the 9 is the disintegration. So this is going to be a dex save. This one does do half on a failure. Okay, so he succeeds for half. It's like 8d8 force damage. And it's 29. Half of that is 14. And the last one is against the paralysis ray. Comes up with a 16 exactly and does not get paralyzed. Is there like half necrotic damage on this one? No. Okay, no damage on the new Beholder's paralysis ray. Then as bonus action, we'll project out Cone of Anti-Magic, though it doesn't really matter that much since it's so close. Cone of Anti-Magic is like that, but you know, the 2014 Beholder can still eye ray. It'll just extend a stock out here to the side and do some kind of ray. We're looking at number 1, which is the charm ray. Okay, can I charm you? Wisdom saving throw, and 2024 succeeds and is not charmed. All right, 2014 begins. Okay, it is going to project its Cone of Anti-Magic up this way here, just straight up. And then it is going to do its 3 eye ray barrage onto 2024, as we just saw it do there previously. So 3d10 rolls, reroll any duplicates. Looking at 8, 1, and 3. So 8 is Petrification Ray. It's going to be a dex save on behalf of 2024. 16 gets it exactly. And the Charm Ray again, and comes up with again a 16 to exactly save. And a Fear Ray rolls the Wisdom save and succeeds wonderfully. And then 2014 is going to move. That'll provoke an opportunity attack. So it's going to be a bite with like a +8 to hit. Chomp goes 2024, 17, just misses by 1. The natural armor staves off the attack. And then Beholder 2014 goes to get completely within its own field of anti-magic. 2024 has no legendary action that is going to be effective, so we'll just go to its turn. So it's going to move. Can it get itself? Yeah, it'll get itself fully within the field of anti-magic. So it'll go like to there. And then I think it will actually ready its eye rays feature. So at the end of its turn, the legendary action eye ray of Beholder 2014 is worthless. We go to Beholder 2014's turn, and its Cone of Anti-Magic now is going to be different. Where does it put it? All right, so I think it's going to put it like that. Isn't going to save it from the readied eye ray barrage of 2024. So let's go ahead and roll up those 3 from its readied action. It has Paralyze, Sleep, Telekinesis. All right, 2014 rolls against Paralyze, succeeds, rolls Wisdom save against Sleep, and fails actually. So it goes unconscious, it's asleep, just kind of hovering there in the air, and then the telekinetic ray will function automatically because it's just going to auto-fail the strength save. The target awakens if it takes damage or another creature takes an action to wake it. I almost want to make 2024 use the telekinesis grip to like thrust 2014 under the bog water and try to drown it. But the telekinesis only lasts until the start of the Beholder's next turn. That's so weird. It can only use telekinesis just 1 round at a time. So anyhow, its turn just passes. It's unconscious. We go to Beholder 2024's turn. You know, if it wanted to drown it, I guess it could just like kind of grip it, not waking it up, but like grip it with its mouth and like hover it down under the water and start drowning it. But I mean, it would wake up probably the start of its next turn from like, you know, being unable to breathe. I guess if you wanted to be a super rules lawyer, that's not taking damage so it doesn't end the magical sleep effect. But just as a GM, you know, referee ruling, that doesn't make any sense to me. How is it that a pinprick for 1 damage would wake it up, but being unable to breathe and like starting to choke, that wouldn't wake it up? Yeah, right. So here's what I say. Beholder 2024 essentially grapples 2014, you know, grabs him. And so we'll say that's a grappled condition, and then hovers him down to underneath the water. At the start of Beholder 2014's turn, it wakes up because it's starting to drown, you know, inhaling a bit of water that's painful, it's choking. That would definitely wake it up. If jostling someone wakes you up, surely choking on being underwater and not being able to breathe would wake you up. So it is grappled. It wants to try to get out of the grapple. It's going to make a dexterity check. Technically, this is acrobatics, and we'll contest it by the athletics of 2024. So that was a 10 on 2014's acrobatics and a 12 on 2024's athletics. All right, so there's 1 round under the water. It can survive for 4 rounds, and then it's going to go to 0 and be unconscious and dying. At the end of its turn, 2024 will chomp it. Oh, chompy. Oh, that's just goofy. All right, so 18 hits it exactly. It's 3d6 plus 3, like piercing damage, I can only presume. And so there's 13 damage. 2014 still has a lot of hit points. Can 2014 use its eye rays in the water? Yeah, I don't see why not. So at the end of its turn, it'll legendary action do an eye ray. It's quite boggy, so it probably can barely even see the enemy, but you know, so close I would say it can see it just slightly. 3. Okay, here is the fear ray, wisdom save for 2024. Comes up with a 22 wisdom save, and that succeeds. Okay, 2024 is going to proceed with a barrage of eye rays. There's really no sense in doing the cones of anti-magic at this close range. It's not going to cover anything entirely without being able to move fully into the field. So there's 1, 4, and 9. Charm, slow, disintegration. I'm trying to kill you and I'm drowning you, but I'm also trying to charm you. Let's see how this works. That's a success, and I guess that's like half the psychic damage. All right, so it's going to be half of 3d8. There's 14 is 7 psychic damage to 2024. All right, 2014 makes a dex save against slow, and it succeeds. And then it's going to make a dex save against disintegration. And see what it comes up with. 15. It actually fails by 1. Oh boy. All right, so here is 8d8, not 10d8 anymore, but 8d8 force damage. And 2014 takes 33 of it. All right, so I would say it is bloodied, definitely into the orange there. If it's not bloodied, it's like just a hair above it. The end of 2024's turn, 2014 makes an eye ray for its legendary action. 8 is the petrification. Let's go over, and now 2024 has like a good con save. It's a +9. Wow. Its con save is better than its wisdom save somehow. But it actually fails. It rolls 1 under. So it's actually restrained now. It's not fully petrified yet. It's just starting to turn to stone. So it can still maintain its grapple. It's not like incapacitated. Still has a hold on with its teeth, right? And then we got a 2014's turn. So now it's on its second round, 2 out of 4 of before it's going to go into great peril. So it needs to decide, try to break free of the grapple or continue with the eye ray assault. It's desperate. It's a desperate moment. I think it's going to continue with the eye ray assault. It's going to try that. Who knows? Maybe it's going to actually pull off a petrification against 2024. All right, so we've got, what is it? 4, 4, and 10. I swore I saw a 6 on one of those, but maybe the die got bumped. So I'm going to re-roll the second 4. And then I rolled a nat 6. Okay, so it's going to be 4, 6, 10. Slow, telekinesis, death. 24 fails on the slow effect. Okay, now strength save against the telekinetic ray. That will succeed. And then death ray. It's not con, is it? It's dex. Dex, and it has disadvantage on the Dex save because it is restrained from partial petrification. Fails by 1 and takes 10d10 necrotic damage. Ooh, so the first damage against 2024, and it's a big chunk, it's 55 necrotic. Oof. All right, so hopefully that was worth it, because that was the second round out of 4 for Beholder 2014 being underwater. End of its turn, legendary action on behalf of 2024, who has a 1 for the Charming Ray. Okay, let's see what happens with a charm. 2014 rolls against a charm and fails it, actually, and is charmed, and it takes like 3d10 psychic damage. It's so weird. 19 psychic, definitely bloodied if there were any doubt before. Charmed you because I harmed you, and then if I hurt you again, I break you out of the charm. Okay, we go to Beholder 2024's turn. It is slowed. It is partially petrified and restrained from that, but still grappling 2014. It will unleash Eye Rays. Here we go. Roll all 3 of the d10s. We're looking at 6, 8, 1. Telekinetic, petrification, charm. So just a flat d20 roll because of +0 strength. 18. So no telekinesis effect. And then Dex against petrification. This would be funny if they both petrified each other. Nope, got a 21, so avoids the petrifying ray. And then charm once again. So it's already charmed, and this is weird. So it fails, it gets hurt, that knocks it out of the charm, but it's recharmed because the new one took effect. Okay, yeah, whatever. So there's 11 psychic damage. It's still got 62 hit points. At the end of 2024's turn, it's going to make a repeated con save against petrification, and its con now is amazing because it has a +9 in the new monster manual for whatever reason. Okay, it just needs to roll a 7 or higher here, pretty easy. Oh, and nat 3! And it turns to stone, splashes into the water, fully, going down under the mucky surface to come to rest at the bottom. And 2014 emerges from the muck, wounded, but 2014 is charmed.
Oh, my dear friend, what have I done? We never should have fought like this.
And he plunges himself back under the water, and he grips onto the stony body, and he tries to pull his ally up out of the muck, but alas, his strength is only a 10, and something that big made of pure stone is weighing so much, and he just can't get him out of the water. His strength isn't good enough. He's not buffed up to the 2024 standards, so he cannot pull his dear ally out of the water, who just has to stay down there. I guess in the end, if you did pull him out, how would he cure the petrification? He doesn't have any ability to do that. And the charm's going to wear off at a certain point anyways. So, all right, congratulations, 2014. Despite the odds being against you, you pulled it off and managed to win against the new fangled Beholder. Nah, I bite my thumb at thee, 2024 goofball Beholder. You've sunk to the bottom of the mucky cave bog. Thanks, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed that one as much as I did. It was kind of a doozy there. Again, if you want to support the channel, there's a link to the Patreon down in the video description below. I want to say an extra special thank you to the patrons Lucas Mesmo, Modern Patron, Adam Wood, Nick Thy Pirate King, Jared Prymont, Locke, Nicholas A., Technicolor Shale, Robert Brescini, Ben R., Till Wrench, Tornado, Agile Monk, James from KC, and Sassy Cat Productions. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you again in another video sometime soon. Wishing you all the best, and may your adventures be many.